Thinking back over this past year with my corporate clients, I've identified 3 major issues that stem from 2 underlying problems, but I do think there's a solution. My name is Graeme Codrington, and I speak at company conferences. I do leadership development programs, and I work with executive teams on their strategies. And in all of those environments, the 3 problems that I'm seeing are that, well, first of all, people just don't arrive. People have signed up for events and they just don't pitch. Last minute things always getting in the way. The second thing is that everything is done last minute. The planning cycle now is ridiculously short. Just the other day I was asked, can you please come and help our HR team prepare their strategy for next year? And the meeting is tomorrow for a strategy session. The third thing is that people are distracted. Even when they do arrive in virtual meetings, they've got their cameras switched off and you can see they're just auditing the meeting in the background, not really engaged. In live events, you can see that people in the room have got their laptops open, their phones open, they're constantly pulled out of the meeting because there's just chaos everywhere. And I think that these are symptoms of 2 massive problems. I don't blame people for this. People are doing their best. But they're 2 huge issues. And the first of those is that we are on a hamster wheel of productivity. That the only real metrics are just the amount of work that you're doing. We've normalized working long hours without taking breaks. And we are... Productivity, yes, might be there. Many companies have done well, financially at least, during lockdown. But high productivity is masking exhaustion in our people. And people are spending 110% of their time to achieve about 80% of the outputs. And it really just is not sustainable at all. Absolutely not possible to keep that going. And then secondly, I think we've got into very bad habits. During COVID, of course, we had to do everything at last minute because we didn't know, would people in the team get COVID? Would we be able to host the event? And we had to learn how to respond very quickly to changes. But that's turned now into bad habits. And people are just very, very short-term focused, exhausted because of it. We're making bad decisions. And we're not getting what we really need in order to take our businesses successfully into the next few years. We need innovation. We need agility. We need resilience. You've probably got those and a few other similar words on posters in your offices. I'm sure you talk about them at your team meetings. But you will not get innovation, agility, and resilience if you don't solve the problem. I think the solution is 2 simple words: excess capacity. If you do not have excess capacity, if every individual in every team is running at full speed just to not quite complete their to-do list every day, you're not going to get innovation, you're not going to get agility, you're not going to get resilience. It's impossible. And if you need and want those things in order to take yourself to the next level in the next few years, you're going to have to build excess capacity into your team. That might be physical capacity in terms of having a few extra bodies in every team, having extra people so that there is some flex available. It might mean on a weekly basis giving people an afternoon off, not as a long weekend on an easy Friday, but an afternoon just to catch up, a no meetings day, a no messages day, giving people gaps in their system and bringing proper flexibility. Flexibility is not just working from home if you want to, but it's the ability to flex your time, to give yourself some gaps. You might also want some no agenda meetings where the meeting is simply about thinking about the future, thinking about your thinking and reflecting on what you're doing. I call those balcony meetings. and they're well worth incorporating into your weekly rhythm. In 2023, you are going to have to build excess capacity in your system. Not so that you can be nice and give your team a break, but so that you can get what you know you need in order to be successful in the next few years. Innovation, agility, and resilience are all factors of excess capacity. And if you want to make sure that your team doesn't collapse in a heap because of exhaustion and last-minute approaches and the bad habits you've fallen into, you'll start talking a little bit more about what excess capacity means for you. All the best as you plan and set up for 2023.